Alright, here we go. Just one more.
Oh man, we're back on Bastade Island.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, brothers.
Hey, brothers. Didn't see you there. I feel like these two were, well, these three, the two humans and the sex fiend, they were supposed to be the Raijin and Fujin types, but because of the constant meddling and the troubled development of this game, that didn't happen. I almost feel like in the original version of this game, you probably did start as Balthier and Fran, and maybe you met these three, and they popped up early, and then they just kept popping up throughout the whole game.
Because it is weird.
It is weird to have three very distinct NPCs pop up in the back quarter of this game, just out of nowhere, and then have us cut to them 2 or 3 times as they just converse among themselves.
Like we're supposed to give a shit what they're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, they're talking about Redis and this town and all this, and Redis also feels like he was supposed to be more significant within the story.
Oh,
but we only met him in the back third. Only after we got the Draclor laboratory, after going to the capital. So it may be on record somewhere, but I'd be fascinated to just sit down with the first director of this game and the second director of this game and ask them, what was this game supposed to be?
We let ourselves inside. The situation is one demanding some haste, you understand?
How did you know where we were?
We let ourselves inside, and we ate all your food.
Joke's on you, it wasn't our food, it was a dead man's food. See, this is a warm, balmy climate, so his sunglass maiden doesn't need to keep his sunglasses warm in her bosom.
You were unsuccessful in stopping the Rosarian fleet?
I used a variety of methods. All went according to plan until it came time to request withdrawal of our most devoted generals. In their enthusiasm for war, our great
a long
military
way to
leaders
say
went
no.
Yeah.
right back straight to Marquis and those
No, we didn't.
resistance.
The Resistance?
During training, a division of the Resistance ignored their orders and disappeared. They were next found exchanging
I mean, I'm sure it's supposed
broadsides
to
with
be hair, but
Imperials
it's
over
weird.
all
It just starts so low, all the hair.
Go there, they were asking to be found.
It starts down here. It starts like just above his nips. That's weird.
Division. They may have joined on doors.
I imagine it starts like it starts there and then it stops like just above his belly button. So it's like the coffee belt, but just of hair.
Don't gross there. Don't know why. It's just the
They say-
moisture and the heat.
They say climate change is going to threaten it entirely.
His Excellency the Marquis was obliged to give his main fleet the order to attack. And the battleground is Dalmasca.
Should this fight drag on, Rosaria will enter the fray. The defense of Dalmasca is their excuse, and we will have a war between empires.
Correct. They will bide their time waiting to strike until the Empire has spent its.
Dalmasca is one of those shitty little countries right in between two giant badass countries. So this is inevitable.
Vayne holds the Dusk Shard no longer. His advantage is lost.
Vayne has
Yeah.
advantages enough.
No,
He stands on higher grounds, and my birds tell me he has awoken something quite large. Bahamut, Lord of the Sky.
Did you lower your glasses just to emphasize your point?
Of Ridorana, I'm told. Bahamut
I like how
awoke
he's got
after
these
this.
super cool shades too.
In this world where they don't fit at all.
Before the crystal was undone, it breathed life into this Bahamut. If Rethers had not stopped it when he did, how much more mist might it have drunk?
I don't believe
All
they ever
went
said
according to
the
Dr.
word
Sid's
Bahamut
designs.
in Final Fantasy X. So this is the first time we've actually heard
Yeah.
it pronounced. And
He's like Bahamut, or like
well, I think they say it a couple of different ways. Like she says it Bahamut, and I believe Sid over there said it as Bahamut. But then she says Bahamut.
Bahamut.
Yeah.
Everyone's just trying their own
Then I
little
will
hand at
defend
it because they don't
Dalmasca
want
and
to sound like
stop
that
this
person who
Bahamut.
doesn't know how to
This is
say
my
it.
charge.
Yeah.
That's our charge, actually.
Who are you?
Just, I wanted to do... Okay, fine. You are both Dalmascans.
And my charge is to hinder and delay this Rosarian invasion for as
So I do
long
wish she had
as
done
possible.
the thing where you hit someone in the
will
face
do
with the
what I
back of your
can.
hand. The way Helga always did.
Yeah.
That creeper.
Yeah.
When this unpleasantness is done, you
She's
must
just staring at his coffee
come
belt.
to Rosaria. I will take you to the Amber Vale of Clan
It's so
Margraves.
humid in there.
Such things I will show you. Until
Life can
then,
just flourish.
I will be waiting.
And this isn't the time to hit on Ash. Give her like a minute. Let her sort some other things out in her life. Then maybe invite her to your funk pad.
Oh man, the funk pad hasn't been cleaned in ages.
Well, that's what gives it the funk. If you were to clean it, it would just be the pad.
Whoa, kid. We're about ready to throttle your ass because you just snuck up on us.
And even that guy, his pants have this like suggestive dip in the back.
I know. Is it to see his briefs?
Yeah. Ugh. It's so fun just running around the world like this.
I wish it was programmed to where when you are Vaughn and you're doing 4 times speed, like his run was just extra goofy looking.
Yeah. Just big white arms.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Remember that? Oh, God. Remember that video you showed me of the 3D model just like dancing around its way around town?
Yeah.
That thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where he's trying to flop up the stairs.
Yeah.
That's how he's moving everywhere. Here we go. Read around a cataract. Ujerba. Arcades? No. Nalbina? No. Oh wait, the flashing light that says Bahamut.
Bahamut. Bahamut.
So right there it does a thing I appreciate where it tells you, hey, if you go here, there's no coming back. It's you know, this is the end of the game, motherfucker, so be prepared.
Yeah.
The reason I never finished Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced is specifically because it doesn't do that. In fact, it does the worst thing it can possibly do. The way Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced works is you have an overworld map similar to that where you have nodes that represent areas that you can travel to. Mm-hmm. And what will happen is like, oh, there's a mission here, and so you travel to it, and then the mission activates. In Tactics Advanced, the final mission doesn't activate when you travel to the node it's on. It activates when you try to leave that node.
Oh.
What happened is I traveled to that node, nothing happened. For some reason, I saved my game. So my save point was in such a place that whenever I tried to travel away from that node, I'd get into the fight with the final boss I couldn't beat. So I couldn't go level up or do anything to prepare myself better for the fight.
That seems like it would have been really easy to come across in QA and someone been like, this isn't cool.
This is a terrible idea.
A common tale of late.
This planet had too many SIDS.
What are we up to? 4? I feel like there were 4 SIDS in this game.
Put an end to this. They have already surrendered.
But then what would I do with my badass Death Fortress?
Who would I kill?
One he might see.
I don't know.
Maybe no one?
Did you ever consider that? No. Are you going to consider it? If I'm being completely honest with you, no. No, I'm not going to consider it.
I beg you.
Fire.
Guys, I don't think we can do anything against that apocalypse engine.
Maybe we should leave?
Like now, guys?
We can't, we're chained to the ground or something.
They appear to be chained to the ground in front of this Death Star. Which, by the way, this is just the Death Star.
Oh, I don't think it did anything. I think we're good.
Yeah. No, Jerry was wrong. We're not good.
Some bad's happening.
Why this?
Mr. Dragon Motif, of
Once
course,
they
has
see that
commanded
there can be no
Bahamut.
surrender,
Yeah.
the resistance must needs come at us with all they have. We will answer their attack head-on and destroy them before the eyes of all Rabanastre.
They'll see how
If you
cool
do
and
this,
big we
the
are.
people will only grow
And
to
they'll
hate
wish
you
to
the
be
more.
cool and big too, but we'll never let them be as cool or as big as us.
But we'll keep telling them they could be as cool and as big as
I do not
us.
believe they
They will see
would.
our ads before their YouTube videos, and they'll be reminded
cooperation
of how
lies
cool and
our
big we are, and then they will feel inadequate.
You
And
are
they'll spend their
mistaken.
money trying to feel not
You were
inadequate.
wrong, brother.
Do you mean feeling adequate? I could have said that, but it didn't occur to me at the time.
And if I am, you had best find the strength you need to correct me then.
It's not fair. You're clearly like 10 years older and 75 pounds heavier.
Yeah. And you got like coordination and stuff
Yeah.
that you just don't have as a youngin'.
You also have a stand. Your brother doesn't have a stand.
The first page of a new history. Our history. Each of you must play his part. Put down this rebellion. For Arcadia, we fight!
See, that makes the guy working in admin feel really good, where he's like, yeah, I'm playing my part. Yeah, I'm playing my part in writing the first page of history.
Yeah.
Now let me go find that DD816 form. I'll be right back. Oh wait, it's my break. Never mind.
Oh, it looks like the Staples out of Staples again.
Playing my part in history. So the ships of this fleet look specifically like ribbon fish. Those real long,
Yeah,
thin fish.
Yeah.
Orthros. I'm trying to remember what monster that is. Orthros. I know we must have fought several.
I'm surprised they didn't put a little bit of some sort of like a flying spaceship shooting bit in this game.
Yeah,
A bit.
yeah, it would have
Tiny.
fit. This one, not so big on the Final Fantasy minigames. I'm just now realizing it has several. It has a fishing minigame, which I can't think of another Final Fantasy with one.
What's the fishing game like?
I don't know. I didn't even know it existed. Somehow, when I first played through it, I missed it entirely. It seems lame.
You can fish in 15, but it's like, no longer.
Yeah. Well, maybe now that they have that Monster of the Deep. But I guess that's VR exclusive. We did it. We killed the big ship. Oh wait, they have a much bigger ship behind, but we couldn't see it because the other big ship was. Oh no!
Oh no!
Why are we right in front of its big cannon?
Who didn't tell me about the big cannon?
Oh good, it missed. Well, it missed us. Fuck those guys in the back. Galoof. Aw, they killed Galoof.
Aw.
I just realized that must be the joke.
Yeah.
Unknown ship from abaft.
The Galoof heiress is dead.
Could it be?
That guy has way too great of hair for.
I'm crossing to the Bahamut to stop
guy.
Bane.
He's an old man. He's like an old administrator, but yeah, his hair is
Your duties
fantastic.
come after the battle is over.
If
I'm
we allow
32
them
in
to
this game.
destroy us here, there will be no after. You must assist our charge.
Stop. You must pull back. Stop the stroll.
Hold it. I mean, wait. This is Master Solidor. I'm going in with her, so we're fine. I got the princess covered.
Yeah.
Larsa
Totally believe you.
Yeah.
So you hold him as a hostage?
No, Uncle. He will fight with us against Vane. Leave it to us.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
Understood.
I'm hungry.
Our fate is in your hands.
Past my nap time.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got the princess covered.
Well, I should say that. We're relying on you for fire support. Give them something to think about.
So that voice
We'll make
changing
our moment
function
and make our move.
they had to establish way earlier just for that. Just like the fudge.
Jeez. long walk for a
Yeah.
little sip of.
The longest walk for the barest nibble of fudge.
Yeah.
That occurred in like hour 10. And if you've been doing the side content, you're in hour 80 right now.
You'd be like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Quite the welcome. Careful.
One follows.
Ah, you want to dance?
Don't tell him the odds, right?
Yeah,
Right?
am I right? Am I right? Star Wars? What about porgs? What about porgs? There's gonna be something on the new Millennium Falcon called a porg hole. Yeah, I didn't make that one up. I wish I had. I don't know what a porg hole constitutes. I'm guessing just whenever the script drags, they press a button and a porg walks out, and everyone in the audience goes, "Yeah, porg! Oh man, you remember those? Oh, dude, it's a porg! I saw that in the trailer. It was rad, porg."
Imagine the power you would feel like you were wielding if you were like a director of a film like Star Wars, and you knew you could just put a random thing, and then you're like, this will make the audience lose their mind.
Yeah. Whenever the script starts to drag, your secret
Just
weapon is just put a
porg.
porg in there. Just put a porg in it. Put a porg on it. Am I right? Like the Star Wars, the Portlandia crossover, the inevitable skit. Put a porg on it.
Vane will be in the fortress's command tower.
By the time this goes up,
I
I
saw something of the
probably
like
will
on
have
our way
seen
in
Star
here.
Wars with my
Right
nephew on
above
his
our
birthday.
heads.
Is it out? When does it come out?
Later this month.
I don't even pay attention anymore.
I think it comes out on or the day before your birthday. Because Rogue One was on your birthday last
Find Vane
year.
wherever he's perched and knock him off.
Wow, Vaughn, I'm surprised you pulled that metaphor out of your ass.
I
thought you would have said something like, we'll find him on his perch and kick his ass.
Yeah, I should probably go see a movie in the theater sometime. I hadn't done it in so long.
I was trying to think of the last one I saw. I'm like, oh, I think I saw one this year. But I'm not certain. Moana may have been the last one I saw in theaters. But I want to see the Star Wars just because, of course, I want to see the Star Wars. I've been engineered to want to see the Star Wars. Though I'm sure I'll enjoy it as I watch it and then walk out of the theater, and then it just will immediately begin to evaporate from my brain the way the last two did.
I was listening to a podcast, and they were talking about going to concerts where people there are, like, you think you're a pretty big fan, then the people there are like even way huger fans of the thing that you can't even believe. And the story the guy was telling was going and seeing Tenacious D and being like, yeah, we thought we were pretty big fans until we got there, and there were people who were, not only singing along with every word, but then also reciting the in-between bits, like little skits and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And how it just kind of ruins it. Like, you don't want them to not be excited for the thing, but at the same time, you're like, somehow your extreme excitement just sort of ruins it a little bit for me, and I kind of feel like that's how Star Wars is.
Oh, yeah. The extreme fans of Star Wars, I'm like, oof, like, I really like the first. Well, I really like the first two, and I think Return of the Jedi is fine with some really good parts, but then some really bad parts, so it averages out to fine.
A queen
But
might always run away with
other than that, it's just I like that and Knights of the Old Republic.
I doubt
So
our queen would need the help of any sky pilots.
And whatever that pod racing game.
Oh, and that's right, and the Rebel Assault, whatever those Factor 5 N64 games
The
were.
flight ones?
Yeah,
that
those
was
were rad.
cool. Yeah.
And Shadows of the Empire, that was cool for the N64 as well. Where the dude, just the random dude,
the random guy.
Yeah.
Is his name like Dash or something?
I think it is Dash or something. Like Dash Rendar. In fact, I shouldn't boisterously say "in fact" as I'm leaning in toward the microphone. I'm just looking at the wavelength like, oof.
It's like, oh,
blew it out for nothing.
My microphone ears. Vaughn, do you know what you're doing with that console? Nope.
Just rubbing his dick on it. Yeah. Eventually, some guy's gonna have to handle the Switch.
So you have lived.
You won't know it, but my balls were on it.
I am Judge Magister.
I am kind of a badass. Oh, my leg.
One of the okay. So Shadows of the Empire was based on a novel of the same name, which was written by Steve Perry. So, whenever I
musician?
I doubt it, but it does mean that when I read that, in my mind I went, Steve Perry.
You failed Landis. You failed Damaska. All you were to protect. Yet you still hold on to your honor. How?
I had someone more important to defend. And defender I have. How is it that you have survived?
Like, me too.
Is it not because
I'm
you
in this
defend your
conversation.
plaza?
I got honor.
Silence.
Is that thing that best friends always joke about, where it's like, do you fight best if you have something to protect, or do you fight best if you have nothing to protect? Because they use that a lot in Japanese narratives.
Yeah.
Why do you forsake that which you must hold most precious?
I do as
Yeah,
I
are you a
must,
better
brother.
hero if you have nothing to lose, or if you have
Or
everything
is
to
that full
lose?
answer enough?
Yeah, Dash Rendar, that's his name. Holy shit.
As they must. For
I
surely
said
you
Rendar
cannot
as a
protect
joke.
them. Know now the despair
Sounds Star
you
Warsy enough.
have taught
Yeah.
me.
I like the way our ladies hold their weapons.
Yeah.
Just ready to go.
End of my blade.
What, did you level up between our last fight and this one? Because, I don't know, it didn't go so well for you.
Ouchies.
Now you appear to have the ability to inflict sap on... Oh, there you go. Before sap could even do anything.
You're really starting to piss me off, Bosch.
Have you your fill of this?
I would ask you the same. Let this end.
I was gonna say, it's just
Noah.
like, you're the one who attacked us. Noah?
Ooh.
It's a strangely Anglo-Saxon name for... Well, I mean, not Anglo-Saxon, but, you know.
Yeah.
Strange name for a Final Fantasy.
Then
May as well
live
call him Scott.
and reclaim it.
Like Cloud, Tifa, Barrett, Eris, Yuffie, Red 13, Sid, and Scott. Well, fuck, that one did have Vincent. So
Yeah.
never mind. But then Vincent's one of those names.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure even if you're Vincent, you introduce yourself as Vince.
Vinny.
Or Vinny. Or even like Vino. And then you tell your friends, like, you really like wine, so you like to go by Vino. And your friend's like, I'm not going to call you that. I'm just not going to call you that. And you're like, come on. Come on. And then they go, no, you gave yourself that nickname. And you're like, come on, though.
And then they're like, we're really not gonna do it. And then you show up to the party at their parents' house, and then Vincent's like, hey, it's me, Vino the Machino, your son's friend. That's my name. And then they're like,
and then your friend's parents are like, they're clearly mortified, but they're still just like, it's nice to meet you, Vino the Machino. I'm guessing you like some wine, and he's like, aha, how'd you guess Vino the Machino needed some of his fuel?
and then he does one strong hip thrust and goes, ugh.
Yeah, and then he winks and goes at the mom.
Before slamming a beer and crushing the can on his head.
My fortress, the Bahamut.
That's why they call me the
I must apologize
Machino.
for my delay in welcoming you aboard.
This
my
guy
ship.
sucks. That we've just made.
Yeah. So if you ever find
Permit me to
yourself in the
ask.
company of someone like Vino the Machino, don't be their friend.
Just don't. They don't need friendship.
An angel of vengeance? Or perchance a saint of salvation?
No, I chose salvation earlier. So that's answered.
I am simply myself.
But I get to kill you either way,
No
so it's
more and no
fine.
less. And I want only to be free.
Such a woman is not fit to bear the burden of rule. Weep for Dalmasca, for she is lost. Observe
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I'd watch out.
Yeah.
Watch and mark you, the suffering of one who must rule, yet lacks the power.
Just gets stabbed in the
No.
left butt cheek really hard by him. Ow, you little bastard.
No, brother. I will not. Though I lack your power, I will still persist.
Bold words,
Even
child.
the music sounds like the music from Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a nice railing.
Mm-hmm. Guys, we put a lot of work in this railing. Make sure they get at least one look at it. You know, players never look at railings. I just feel like we wasted our time if we don't show it at least once.
Why even have the railing? Yeah, man, you're about to get wrecked.
Yeah. Okay, his first move is called Pummel. I was gonna say, I hope he opens the fight by just giving just a big, like, round punch. Just roundhouse punch to Larsa right there. Just knocks him off the platform. Woo!
Your lives are forfeit, and your insurgents with them. Dalmasca will again know order. For good
They knew
and
order,
all,
but then
I
you
shall
brought your
bring
Death Fortress.
futile attempts at rebellion to an end.
Yeah, this rabbit lady with the giant sword doesn't really give a shit about what you're saying.
No, she just wants to hit him with her big sword some more. Oh no.
Oh, ow.
I really thought that would hurt you more, Rabbit Woman. I'll be honest, I'm a bit embarrassed. That was supposed to be significant.
Most of the time when I do that, people just give up. They think it's gonna hurt.
So I've never actually seen what it does to a person, and now, well, it's a good thing I put so many points into charisma.
This is JoJo shit.
I don't know.
I wish Vayne would just throw little, like, batarangs because of his little, the little wings all over him.
Well, he's gonna do something even better on account of his wings all over him.
Lord
Fall the
Brother!
fuck over.
Larsa!
Lord brother. Jeez. Guess he didn't have Libra on. To see the trap there.
Or he's just wearing one of those collars that you put on a dog. The invisible fence.
Yeah.
He forgot where the boundary was.
Where'd his shirt go?
It exploded.
He's just all back and shoulder muscles now.
but not like rippling pecs and abs.
Yeah. Somehow got a little chubbier there.
Yeah. So his biceps and forearms are also tiny. It's literally just shoulder and back. It's like a swimmer.
Behold the power left me by
Yeah, he
our
looks like
fallen friend.
bad Conan design
He
or
does
something.
look like bad Conan design. It's no... I don't know. It's no Super Sephiroth.
When,
as far as second form bosses go.
And when, like, the most frail looking of characters in these games can be, like, some of the strongest, getting ultra muscular doesn't make you that threatening.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, I will defend Lord Larsa.
It's like when Trunks was fighting Cell, and he's powering up more, and he's getting just stupid muscular, and at the same time Goku's explaining to Gohan about how fucking stupid it is to do that, because you just get muscular and slow.
Yeah.
So even though he's stronger than Cell, he can't hit him.
Oh, Gohan, he's getting too big. Don't do that. This is your dad.
Gohan, let's eat meat. You think your mom thinks it's weird that we're spending a year in this extra dimension training and eating and taking baths together?
We got a lot of beads.
What?
Chi-Chi, we got a lot of beans.
Beans?
You know,
Like sensor beans?
Yeah, they got them beans. That's how he's justifying beans.
So he spends a year in the hyperbolic time chamber, right?
Yeah.
And it's a year, but it's compressed into a day. I did the math on how that turns into by like the minute, but he spends a year in there, and every like 3 months he writes a letter to Chi-Chi, and so really it's like every 6 hours he's writing a letter to Chi-Chi. So every 6 hours she's getting a letter, but the letter just says stuff like, "Chi-Chi, we've got a lot of beans."
She just
That's it.
shakes her head and rumbles it up.
She's like, what do I do with this information? Are you saying we have plenty of beans?
What is my life? What life did I choose?
Sure would be nice if my husband wasn't dead all the time.
Every time there's a bunch of dishes. Goku, are you gonna take care of the dishes? This is your week.
He just punches himself through the heart.
Ah, sorry, Chi-Chi. Go on. There's no more beans.
Those are his dying words. Go on, there's no more beans.
He just goes and plays on the Snake Road.
Yeah. That's all he does. He plays on Snake Road.
He just skateboards down it all radically.
It's 10,000 miles long.
He's just doing like sweet kick flips every once in a while.
But he fucks up sometimes and skins his knees.
He fucks up in the first 50 feet and the skateboard goes flying off the Snake Road.
Yeah, down into hell.
Oh man.
Or as they call it in the American version, HFIL, Home for Infinite Losers. Because the guys are wearing shirts that say hell on them, and so the censors said like find a way to airbrush it out but make it into something. So like, well, I guess we can make the E into an F.
Yeah. Oh my god. And then the L into an I.
Yeah.
I always wondered what the fuck.
because I a couple years after that aired, I went to a friend's house and he had some of the trading cards from the TCG for Dragon Ball Z. And those were using art from the show, but the art from the show in Japan. And it shows one of those Oni down there. And he's wearing a shirt that just says hell on it. And I'm like, oh, I'm 14 and I get it. Okay. Fucking Goku was the worst.
Goku is the worst.
Why wasn't Dragon Ball Z just about Vegeta?
Should have been.
The only actual character in that whole 1,000-episode series.
Oh, what's happening here?
Noah, like, tried to hit him with his Super Saiyan sword.
Even a stray has pride.
Even though we're clearly kicking his ass and don't need the help.
Noah, just save yourself. We don't need this.
Like, you can take a breather. Go to Denny's. I don't know. This episode of the CDP cast is brought to you by Denny's.
He's got to do his good guy
with Moss.
Thing. He's got to do his good guy thing first.
He's got to die pointlessly so he can be redeemed. Admittedly, I don't think a Final Fantasy villain has ever just straight up yelled at us "burn in hell."
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of got this Danzig thing going on.
A little bit. Literally anyone else could have done that. That's the flaw of Van, is everything he does, you're like, anybody else could have done that. It didn't need to be him.
It would have been more powerful if someone else with a purpose did it than just boy who wants to be part of the club.
Mm-hmm. Wants to be part of the best friends gang.
I imagine going downstairs for Fran is a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Like, everyone else is hauling ass. She's like, oh, it's the one time she has to be extra dainty and, like, careful because going down on tippy toes and heels.
Master.
So if Bash were to just, like, clean up a little bit more, he'd be super handsome. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just, like, trim that beard a bit, pull that hair back.
hasn't had time.
Oh no, he's been busy, but you know, he's looking at his brother in the mirror and he's like, you know, after this is over,
I'm gonna go to...
I'm just gonna take like a comb, just pull it back, see what happens.
I'm gonna go raid your bathroom and take all your shaving supplies. You won't need them anymore. Because you're dead. Is he dead?
He's dead.
Yeah,
he is dead. He's super dead. It's the bloodless hero death where someone just like hits you pretty hard and you're like, ugh, I'm dead. Not like when Vegeta dies and his ass is hanging out.
I have failed us both. I am no dynast king. You must find another. One who might realize
fulfilled beyond your knowing. The crystal
It just turns into Danzig straight
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Age of Stones complete. From the Undying Ones, the world is freed. You shall not tread this path alone. Together we go.
Didn't the Akuria just make more stones? They did it once. I'm sure there's someone in the world that they could be, hey, you want to have the power of a god? And they'd go, fuck yeah! And he'd be like, take this rock, motherfucker, and be a god! And he's like, I'm a god!
He's like, hi! Heart of the devil.
Won't Sid be eager to learn what has happened here? History begins anew.
He's kind of done the Resident Evil villain thing, where it's like at the very end, I'm gonna inject myself with the G-Virus.
Yeah.
And it become this fucked up monster, and it's like, what was your follow-up plan? Exactly.
There was none.
Someone had to render this guy for this cutscene, and I bet it was just gross the whole time. Just, ew. Although he is just like sweating apocalyptic power.
Is he getting small again? Or I can't tell.
No, he's gonna get super beef.
Oh, this is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like how Boo killed everyone on the planet at one time. Just stood there, fired like 1 billion energy beams. And he's like, human extinction attack. And I'm like, oh!
Oh no.
Why did we do literally nothing?
Oh man, his fucking face is weird looking now.
Yeah, it is.
It's got those little like holes and shit, which is weird you out.
You kind of want to put your fingers in them?
Yeah.
But you're like, ugh, I don't want, I mean, I wanna, but I don't wanna. I like want to dig stuff out of them, but like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah, you want to like tug on them a bit.
Yeah.
Like, are they really in there?
Yeah. Ugh.
Alright, now you're getting threatening looking.
Yeah. So all the, look at this fucking Doom 3 shit on his head. This techno demon. So the reason for all the dragon motifs on his armor is because he is now Bahamut.
Damn.
Yeah. And as we fight him, he's going to use the 3 versions of Mega Flare.
That's super cool.
It is pretty cool. Also, he doesn't have an HP meter. I don't want Van in my party. He's the only time mage, and so when I need haste, I have to use the haste emote.
You need old Van in the party, don't you?
No, we're fine.
No, we got items that can do your job.
We found a couple of these in the trash. Wrestled them off a raccoon, we did.
Traded a rat some pizza crust. It is neat to, because one thing with Final Fantasy bosses, like just becoming big old weird works of art, it is neat to see how do you do that with this definition.
Oh yeah, like one piece at a time.
Yeah.
I don't know if he actually used Mega Flare there or not. He said he was readying it. Ah, Faith.
What is Faith?
Faith boosts your magic power. And In Final Fantasy Tactics, your magic power was determined by your faith stat. It was fun because it affected how potent your magic was when you cast it, but as well as how strong magic was when it was cast on you. It's basically how strongly do you believe.
Oh.
So if a character has 0 faith, they're an atheist, and magic has no effect on them at all.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't be
healed by magic, but it means black mages just can't do anything to you.
I'm invincible. And then an arrow sticks you in the
Yeah.
arm. Ow!
Oh, he's up to Giga Flare now. So we're making. That's how you know you're making progress. Because first he was using Mega Flare, now he's up to Giga Flare sword.
What if you were just a straight up idiot and you didn't believe in, like, I don't believe that arrows cause me pain. And then they're just sticking in you, you're like,
I thought that would work. I really hope that would work. Oh no, you spilled your washers everywhere.
Ratchet and Clank are gonna come clean that shit up and spend it on
guns.
Yeah, more guns. Yeah, where's Ratchet and Clank when you need them? They just come in here and start using their guns.
Well, that might take care of them. That might do it, actually. Just turn into... This is a weird boss for a Final Fantasy, because it's kind of body horror.
Yeah.
Like, this is Tetsuo the Iron Man, where the man is just turning into this mechanical monster.
But a lot of the bosses kind of are. I mean,
oh
you
yeah,
think
for
about
Final
it,
Fantasy,
like,
yeah, a lot of them are. Also, we're not. Well, no, we're not fighting him in a nebulous void.
Nah.
I kind of want to cheat it, but I can't. I can't stretch it far enough.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's like a big energy vortex around us, but we're just on top of the Bahamut. Sure likes this move.
Just can't hold it anymore. It just falls.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Ooch. But it's not so bad.
Yeah, especially compared to, like, I don't know. Like, it's like, oh, it's finally doing over 1,000 damage to our heroes, but
granted, they're all in the high 70s, and as with most Final Fantasies, if you've leveled up to that point, the final boss is usually just a complete pushover, nothing to worry about. It's always the optional super bosses that they put in there as a challenge for those players that decided, I'm going to level up all the way. It's like going to fight Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts.
So they need a... Well, I say this like they could go back and fix it. It'd be interesting to see something where instead of just getting to the last boss and you're either over leveled to where they're a pushover, or perhaps the other option is the boss scales with you. But if they just maybe made a more puzzle way to deal with it, or just something that takes a little bit more thinking than just smacking away. But
well. I'll always use this as my example, but Paper Mario does that exceedingly well, simply because of the low numbers.
Yeah.
To where even if you're over leveled, you still need to be able to execute the fight well in order to survive it. Like, having the extra levels with the extra HP is certainly going to help, but at the same time, and then it is kind of a puzzle because you're watching the boss and its attacks, and you're trying to figure out. Nello is oof.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. He does have the ability to almost kill me. But, in Paper Mario, there is kind of a puzzle element to the very combat.
Yeah.
So it does that. I mean, you can't really do that here, though maybe they could find a way. If they made it more like an MMO, then they certainly could have done that. Yeah. Because you play World of Warcraft, and very, very, very few raid encounters are just hit the boss really hard and really fast. He even kind of has a tail, because of his little waist cloth dangling behind him.
So cool. Yeah, they were really going for it with this. They were like, look at what we can do.
I don't know why they went this direction, but at least they went for it.
This kind of a thing would almost seems like it would make more sense in 10, where there was like a direct conflict between using machines and not.
Oh yeah, if it then if someone were to meld with a machine, and
Fist bump.
Yes. Just that gif. I need that gif. In fact, I'm kind of surprised that wasn't in 10, and that the final summon itself wasn't some sort of like machina that you basically fed the summoner to. Guys, the sky is blue, as if the future ahead of us is clear and no longer clouded. It's like a metaphor, you know?
Oh, look, the rain stopped.
Oh yeah, there's a war going on. Never mind, you know? We're all gonna die, brother.
Vaughn, your nose.
Your weird, over-highlighted nose. The person who painted your model took it just one step too far.
It's like too thin on the bridge.
You're gonna have to go to a doctor when you're like 30, because like, I just can't breathe as well as I think I should, and they're gonna have to stick that thing up there that just removes bits inside.
Ew.
Just little bits. Just enough that you can breathe better. If it's really extreme, they need to cut off the walls that separate like your mucus cavities.
You're in charge.
Ugh.
I'm checking the engine.
Those things freak me out like that.
There's so much in there. It's rad. It's not rad. It's nuts.
Or it's like when you see people, if you've ever seen bits of video of someone getting rhinoplasty done, and they're just like chipping away with like a chisel and hammer. And it's just going way up in there. They're like, we're just gonna go in here and tink, and it's just like, why? Why?
Just do it like I told you.
Don't worry.
Vanilla, watch for interference.
Wait, he never told me.
Don't worry, as Vaughn is taking his pants off and starting to rub his butt on the console.
No, Vaughn, that was a separate lesson.
If House Solidor should crumble, the Empire...
Every good ship needs to have a bed for somebody to die on / recuperate on.
Yeah.
And the bed's not anywhere where it seems like a bed should be. It's like it's there just for someone to die on.
And it's the comfiest bed, but no one gets to use it regularly.
Yeah.
Unless, unless they're dying a lot.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Grab onto something.
Like your butts.
Is that line in Star Wars? No, that line wasn't in Star Wars. Okay.
She's left Bahamut. She's moving away.
The storm. They made it. At last. The Bahamut has fallen. The
I
final
think the guy who was just talking, that random soldier down there, is the only other person from Bujerba besides this guy who ever talks. And he has the same weird accent. So that's a dedication to continuity that I appreciate.
The battle is over.
And now that we kicked Vane's ass, the Bahamut is about to fall into Dalmasca.
Looks like he's speaking to Electric Razor.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Attention. This is Larsa Farina Solidor.
My brother Vane has died with honor in battle. The Imperial fleet is now under my command.
Sir, your orders, sir.
This is the Sholia Dalmasca.
The Lady Ash. Thank the gods you live.
I confirm what Judge Magister Gabranth and Larsa Solidor have said here.
Please stand down your attack. The war is over.
I like how that ship has big wings.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Spooky, like, bat thing.
Yeah. The ship is, like, it's intimidating and it's very large, but can we make it more intimidating and more large? I can give it, like, non-functional bat wings.
It'll look cool.
I mean, it'll be expensive as hell, but it will look cool.
Look, Vaughn, the Bahamut.
Okay, I guess everyone says Bahamut.
A message from the Alexander.
Take it.
Sir.
This is Judge Zargaban.
I don't know if they ever went into it, but it appears there's some sort of paling over the city, which, like, keeps bad stuff out. But you can only keep so much out, and the Bahamut is way more than so much. Or Rabanastre, rather. I guess that's the city, and then Damascus is the country.
Should she fall, the paling will not hold.
Okay, yeah, it's a paling. It's the only time they address it that I recall.
Concentrate your fire on the Alexander's remains once Bahamut is clear of the city.
So
Jeez.
they're gonna ram their ship into the Bahamut so that it pushes the Bahamut out of the way, but then their ship's gonna be dead, and so it's like, hey, just light us up real fast, guys, before we fall on the city. But the real protagonists stayed behind to try and fix the Bahamut, just enough to get it to fly away.
What does he think he's doing? Balthier!
Marquis,
He's being a real cool guy.
Yeah.
for me, would you? Just getting somewhere with these glossaire rings. Almost done.
He all had time to set up a shop light and everything.
Balthier, do you understand exactly what it is you're doing?
Princess, no need to worry. I hope you haven't forgotten my
I
role in
really
this
appreciate when technology makes sense at a glance.
I like, I really like, when that just level of world building, where it's
Yeah.
like, you don't have to fully fucking explain it,
Yeah.
but just show that something is happening.
Just show that you need to put something into something to make something work.
Yeah.
And it all looks functional, at least. There are like manga artists that get mad props just for their ability. Oh no! Always a heavy thing falling on somebody.
Get out of Bahamut immediately.
We just need Shelly to reveal that she was actually on the ship the whole time and then help us pull that off of Fran. Then we can get in the escape pod
I'd say you're in
and then go back for tea.
supporting role.
Oh no. Fran, please, I'm clearly...
You've clearly been throwing that Vaughn dude a bone this whole time.
The Strahl's in your hands. You'd better take care of her, you hear? If there's one scratch on her when I get back.
Fran is very lean, but she's also very tall.
Yeah, she got...
And once you're tall, you can't help but be a certain weight.
Yeah, and then,
Right?
and then also just like muscle density.
Exactly.
I imagine.
Like yeah. So there's a lot of just dense muscle
And like
so,
some very slim armor bits, but armor nonetheless.
And Balthier's not a particularly tall man from what we've seen. So he must just be very, very strong underneath all that to just hoist her up.
I was gonna say, is it cutting to like years later?
I think it's 1 year. 1 year later.
Oh, Final Fantasy, doing
Yeah.
that thing.
Let's see. 8 was like immediately after. 9 was at least a year after. But Garnet's hair had grown back a lot. So I feel like it's supposed to be 2 years later. Oh, Penelope, you got like some cool tattoos.
Yeah, she got like way cool looking.
Yeah, I wish you could unlock this. I wish they had alternate costumes for the characters.
It's like she got out of her hometown and saw the world and got real cool.
Yeah.
And then when she goes back and visits people, they're like, "Oh, look who's changed! Look at this person with their tattoos and cool hair."
She's like, I'm still, I mean, yeah, like I've matured a bit, I've got more experience, but like, you know,
But I think it's
I literally own more than one outfit now.
and keep our eyes on the road
I had
ahead.
to constantly wash out that rubber before. It was a mess. Literally a mess.
Skin came off with it.
Ugh.
Ash's coronation is next month. She grows farther and farther away from us. But I guess
yeah.
that's how it has to be.
Because
she's the queen.
And did you really think the queen would be best buds with you?
I thought so, maybe?
I am looking forward to seeing you at the ceremony.
I was playing Kingdom Hearts last night, and I got to the ending, and it gets like the big, like this moment toward the ending.
Yeah.
And it just hits that Kingdom Hearts song where it's like, when you walk away. And I just want to put a montage of the best moments in movies, but when you walk away starts playing.
Yeah.
I know he went with you to our
So you got that haircut and shit.
Yeah, I got the haircut and shit, yeah.
But still, I hope he comes back to Rabanastre and Ash soon. She has to keep up appearances now, so she would never say it, but I think she misses him.
Hurls her old wedding ring off the ledge. Fuck you, your ghost lied to me.
Protect him. I would entrust him to no other's care.
I will keep it from harm.
Turns around, Lars is already like being strangled by the cord on some blinds. Like, whoops.
Trying to tap Bosch on the shoulder.
Yeah. It's going to be a harder task than you would imagine. Sorry to leave you, but that muscular man hit me kind of hard, so, you know, I'm just dead. And from that exact angle, he looked a lot like the art from Final Fantasy Tactics. That very specific art that you see in that and in Vagrant Story.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't told you the most important part.
She's got like makeup and stuff now too. She's just like
been taking care of the straw.
Like this is such child Pinello, you know, with the overalls and the big boots and stuff. And
miss the boots, but everything else is pretty cool. Ash of Glabados. Oh yeah, her ring. At one point, Balthier was like, I'll keep helping you, but you gotta give me that wedding ring.
If her owner wants her back, there's not much we can do about it, is there?
Just gets him in a chokehold and starts taking him to the ground as the camera's pulling out.
Yeah. Like one of those crazy chokeholds where like they're on the person's shoulders. Like there's an arm straight up in the air somehow, and you don't know whose arm it is, but someone's falling asleep.
There's still plenty of time before the coronation. So Vaughn's going to pay the two of them a visit. You should see him.
I'm sure it's a very fine, like, starter airship, but compared to the Strahl, this tiny little, like, moped of airships.
He pretends he's a big old sky pirate.
Yeah, and of course he got the most penile one.
Every good sky
Maybe even subconsciously.
Right?
It's like, I don't know, something about this one. Does it come in like a flesh tone? No, I'll paint it myself, don't worry. Granted, it's like a robot penis, but still.
It's still compensating for something.
For his utter inadequacy in this entire adventure.
Man, is that it? Because that's
it's no.
That was a really underwhelming end.
It wasn't it though?
Yeah, that
like
was
12. Yeah,
that's a bummer. Like
12 is a good game and it has an interesting story, but as I said before, you can feel the meddling. You can feel the meddling throughout, and that.
Like I just
like. Final Fantasy has had some killer endings.
Yeah.
It has had some absolutely... It's had some endings that drag. 10-2 was pretty confusing. But it still, like, just kind of ended. It took, like, a minute. This, as far as endings go, this is just kind of listless.
Yeah, that was...
And without... It's listless and without payoff.
Really,
I suppose.
Yeah.
Like even some of the weaker endings we've seen, they still have a moment where it's like, boom.
It's a really uninspiring ending. It's just like, oh,
like shouldn't this have ended with Ash's coronation?
Something.
Shouldn't it have been that? Like they're building up to the coronation, and then like her being crowned, and then like all of Damaska being like, yay, and then that's it.
And then the buddies are there, and she's like, the buddies, and the buddies are like, we're here. Of course we'd be here. It's your coronation.
They should have gone all the way and given it the Star Wars ending, where it is all the buddies, and it's like, thank you for your service. Here's a medal, except for you, Fran. Fran's like, I don't need no medals, and Fran.
Yeah, it's strange how a game like this, like 12, could have such a blah ending.
Yeah.
But then you could think about 8 and that little bit at the end with the videotape.
Just that little bit
great
at the end.
That is.
Yeah.
And it's,
like, let's just spend a few more minutes, because it's like, just spend a few more minutes with our characters. Oh, are they gonna kiss? Oh, they don't kiss. But wait! They do kiss.
I feel like they just didn't know what the fuck the characters were like. At this point, it's like, what are our characters doing? What would they be doing a year later or whatever? And where do we resolve them? Like, we didn't even see Fran and Balthier. They're just gone.
They're gone, and all they did was come back and get Balthier's airship and take off. They've been looking after the Strahl, but then at some point they just absconded with it and left behind Ash's wedding ring.
Like, it would have been cool if, like, Fran and Balthier were still up to some piratey stuff that was, like, still kind of bad, you know, because that's just what they do.
Now, these sketches that we're seeing here do give us some story. I think it's supposed to be afterward, because, like, there's Pinello and Van and a couple other street urchins with them, but it's clear they're in, like, a better place now than they were at the start of the story. There's those two. Yeah. Look how playful that is.
That's so nice.
That is wonderful. I love that.
She's like pinching that skin, like, yeah, you get that out of here, like, later.
Yeah. Not now. We're posing for photos.
We're posing for beautiful sketchings. I like that she's let her hair down because she's like, man, I'm taking a fucking break. You have your hair pulled back like that for a while, it starts to hurt.
I bet.
When you take it out, it's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, of course. No, apparently he has 4 sunglass maidens, and the primary one is pissed
because she just found out that
that he has 3 others.
He's like, come on, did you really think you're the only? I have so many sunglasses.
I hit on Ash in front of you. Come on now.
Who do you think is warming my sunglasses when you're on your day off? Think I'm doing it?
Bosch and Noah. Although one of them should be a ghost.
One should have, like, a halo that's clearly suspended by a stick taped to their back. These sketches kind of make me want more out of these characters in these games.
Oh, it does. Like, and these sketches do. I mean, these sketches with no context, other than their pure content, are more satisfying than the ending that we received.
Mm-hmm. They just didn't know. I feel like they just didn't know what the fuck once they got to the end. They're like, what do we do? I don't know.
I guess we just kind of like, maybe she just like writes a letter, and then like we're recapping a little bit of what happened, but like didn't care about Van at all.
Yeah.
Right? Like Ash's, and she's talking about Ash's coronation a lot. Like, oh, it's gonna happen like next month, and all this and that and the other. And it's clear that she's writing to She wrote to Larsa and Balthier, and it's like, oh, it would be nice if you came back and, you know, like, saw her again, she misses you. And, like, that should have been what it's building up to, is all of that, and then you get, like, the coronation with all the buddies. Some more Vieira just hanging out.
Some of us have discovered thigh-high socks.
It's a breakthrough in being super hot. I forget the artist who does this particular art for Final Fantasy. I forget his name, but and for Bravely Default.
Yeah,
but I fucking love it.
It's real good.
It's not simplified except in the faces, but I do love how much emotion he can elicit out of a very simple face.
Mm-hmm.
Out of like eyes, 2 dots for a nose, and a line for a mouth.
Yeah. And it's a real good way to, like, separate yourself from fucking Amano.
Yeah. Who goes the opposite direction and is, like, all of the detail everywhere. And then we get this nice little moment, which I think is Sid with a young Balthier. Or montage theory, this, after everything we've just seen. The third meaning is this tragic relationship between father and son.
I'm gonna grow up to be a cool sky pirate, Dad. Probably gonna aid in your death.
These 3 Vieira are looking into some sort of window with a lot of curiosity, and for some reason I assume it has something to do with Balthier and Fran.
Yeah.
Like they had a child or something. Just, I don't know what it is about it. The way they're just peeking into this, like what appears to be a home window.
Like they're seeing something they would have never seen before.
Yeah.
Like a dude penis. Doing stuff to a rabbit lady.
Where are the spikes?
Yeah, fucking bummer for the ending, but I mean...
It's a great but very messy game.
Yeah.
It's more clean now in the Zodiac edition because of the way they've cleaned up like the license board and all of that, but it's kind of a shame that the year of Final Fantasy ends with not a bang.
Yeah.
I mean, not only is it not a bang, but it's just so muddled. It doesn't even feel like an ending. It almost feels like one of those situations where it seems like it's over, but then there's like
It's
one
gonna
more
come
chapter.
back,
Yeah.
Like, oh wait, but then this.
Mhm.
And like what happens? And then
It just makes me think of 7's ending, which was the exact opposite. And we'll probably talk a lot more about that when we're talking about best and worst things in the Final Fantasy hangover. But compared to 7, where it's just like a close-up, just a flash of light, Eris's face, those 3 handful of notes from her theme, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Like, it just gets in, gets out, and leaves you satisfied, but wondering.
Because it's like they almost were trying to go with that feeling of, well, this is their lives now.
Yeah.
You just saw a part of it. Their lives will continue without you, but or not continue without you. But like this is like just.
But Bojack did that exact thing in season 1, but nailed it.
Yeah,
this is just a chapter of their lives that will continue without you, but it does give you a sense of closure for this chapter, whereas this doesn't really give you that sense of closure for the chapter. It doesn't give you the sense that like this adventure will continue.
Yeah,
It's just sort of like you just plod your way to the end here.
Oh, shit.
I guess that was the year of Final Fantasy.
That was the year.
Stay tuned for January 1st. We're going to have one more just little outro bit, which we've spoiled, so it's not like a surprise, and no one's watching this anyway. So I'm just spend the last 10 seconds going... Boners!